Well, hello out there, all my DIY artsy crafty friends. Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, hi, I'm Dee, aka The Messy Perfectionist. And on this channel, I'm sharing my love and learning for all things artsy crafty related, focusing a lot lately on adult coloring in particular, my experience in general with just learning to art, and any new artsy crafty items that I discover and then share through reveals, reviews, and unboxings of different mediums and new adult coloring books I find and anything like that. As for today's video, I am sharing how I completed this compass page in Johanna Basford's adult coloring book, Enchanted Forest. This was one I really contemplated and went back and forth a lot looking at various color palettes, and then of course I went in an entirely different direction, as is creativity a lot of the time for me. You can see I've got notes all over the page here. Originally, I had wanted to do the background and the area around the compass as if you were looking at seasons, but I thought it would take away too much from the compass, and I wanted the compass to stand out. I knew I wanted the compass to be in neutral tones, either gold or brass, and really wanted to try my hand at doing a reflection as if there was glass on top of it and kind of creating a little bit of that 3D element that I'm very inexperienced with. So in the end, I decided to do a rainbow gradient background that would also blend in the forest and the animals that are behind the compass there. So I grabbed my color wheel and I grabbed my Black Widow pencils and my Black Widow swatches that I have created previously and matched pencils to the color wheel and wrote them out here and just gave it a go. I mainly started this channel because I truly believe that every person has creativity in them waiting to be explored and nourished, and I wanted to be an example showing that it is okay to learn and share our creative ventures even when we may feel that we are not yet an expert in that area, or maybe we're just starting out, or hey, maybe we don't even know where to begin yet, but we just feel that yearning within us to be creative in some way. I know it's intimidating and can make us feel very vulnerable when we want to try something new but are afraid to take those first steps. But just remember that no one starts out as an expert, and creativity in whatever form it takes in your life is good for you in all the ways. So I just want to encourage and support you to begin or expand your own artsy crafty journeys. So with all that said, welcome to this creative, judgment-free, safe space where we can have fun and maybe learn something new together. And if you see or hear something you like in this video and want to see more from me, please consider subscribing, hitting the like button, sharing, commenting, all that good stuff, as it really will help my little channel grow, and I'm so enjoying making content and sharing all of this stuff with you guys. This picture took me quite a long time to complete, so I filmed this in several segments, and some of it is regular video sped up, and then other are just time-lapsed, so you'll kind of see it go back and forth. I really just wanted to share the process with you guys, whether it came out good or bad or pretty or ugly, whatever. I wanted to keep it real like I always do here and just share it with you. So I hope you do enjoy watching this page come to life. I'll just kind of chime in here or there and let you guys know maybe why I did something or why I didn't do something, what materials I'm using as I change from the pencils to the different mediums I added to this piece. This is my first time using watercolor as well in a coloring book, and the first time that I blended these Black Widow pencils out in a rainbow gradient. I like the final outcome overall, but you guys let me know what you think, and we will talk in a moment. So the first thing you'll probably notice is how light of a layer I'm placing down as my base. I generally always do this because, well, it's easier to remove if you make a mistake. Because this is my first time doing this technique, I was nervous and I wanted to go gradual. I rather take longer on something than trying to go too quickly and not being happy with the outcome. But with that said, this background did take me a very long time because I did many layers and I went back in multiple times that you'll see. So here we are just doing the time-lapse chunk for the background to kind of go through it real quickly. I did forget, I guess, to record that area between the orange, yellow, and the greens, so I do apologize for that. But you guys still get what I'm doing here, and that's all that really matters for this video. And also, I am so sorry that some of this will be out of frame. You'll get to see the bigger picture throughout the video, so it's okay, but I try to keep everything in frame, but I guess I was just in the zone and not realizing where I was placing my book, as I'm flipping the book around a lot. Not as much here, but later on you'll see as I'm going back through. I'm just finishing up adding more color and also blending out any of those harsh lines to create more of that gradient and get as much pigment down as possible before I show you guys where the picture is at to this point. I like the way it came out, but I'm not happy with the blend completely, so rather than taking a colorless blender and spending hours trying to get this all the way I envision it in my head, I decide to go ahead and use my odorless mineral spirits to burnish and blend it better. Doing this step really helped blend that gradient out the way that I wanted, and because I planned on doing the forest area behind the compass in a similar way with a rainbow gradient, though at this point I wasn't sure how I was going to do that, I didn't mind if the pencil went over onto those areas and actually just blended it straightforward right into some of those things, like you can see there for the leaves and such. Here you can really see how the odorless mineral spirits really brought out that rainbow gradient. It looks even better once it dries a little bit, but it's just so much smoother to me than just leaving it with just the pencil. And so what I'm doing now is picking my reddish browns and yellows to do the compass. I wanted to go with more of a brassy kind of tone rather than a yellow gold. So these are my swatches that I've created for my Black Widow pencils, and just you see me picking out, trying to find the shades that I want, and then grabbing those pencils and starting on that piece. If you guys are still watching and you haven't gotten nauseous from all the spinning of the page, which I apologize for with this time lapse, it feels really pronounced, but I decided to just add a little bit of kind of a forest green for the leaves on the outside there, and then in the leaves on the ring. I still wanted it to feel very old and dated, so I didn't want them to be like a bright green or anything. I just wanted a little bit of color in there, and so this is how it came out after it was blended with my blender pencil. And I do go in a little bit more later to darken some of those edges that you'll see a little bit later. But at this point, I decide I am going to try these watercolors out. I purchased these from Walmart. I kept the label because there was no other identifying information in case you guys were interested. They were like pearlescent watercolors, never used them before. So I did test them out a little bit here and decided I was going to go ahead and try them. This is where on camera it looks a little weird because they are pearlescent. There's a lot of reflection, and I will get some better angles and views later so you guys can get a better feel for it. But what I decided to do was kind of pull the gradients over a little bit, so have some greens go in the blues and blues go over into the yellows, and just kind of melt it around, I guess, in a way. And similarly to like what I said when I was going in with the mineral spirits, I didn't care so much if I, got a little over the line, say, with the watercolor paint, because I planned on going back through and defining some of those lines anyway. Wasn't sure at this point still how I was going to finish up this page. I was just kind of letting the creativity flow and deciding as I got through each section what I would do next. So after this small chunk of time-lapse video, I finished the rest of the watercolor on the outside here off camera, and we'll show you guys a few still shots and a short video of a better close-up to get an idea where the glare isn't so obnoxiously reflecting off of the page. I know it was hard to see as I was painting it on, but you can see here how pretty it looks. I was really happy with the way this came out. I like the compass so far, and I like the way the gradient came out in the background as well as spilling over onto the forest area. I was really happy with the vibrancy of the colors. This film is not touched up in any way as far as the colors, but look at how bright it looks between the Black Widow pencils and then the pearlescent watercolor. I really like the way it came out. This is where I started going in with my fine liner pen. I used a brown fine liner pen to go around all of the lines for the forest area, just to kind of define it out a little bit more before I add any finishing touches. So right here you can see where I've applied the fine liner pen and where there are places that I had not, and also that pretty pearlescent shimmer from that watercolor. And then here is where the page is completed with doing the outline with that brown fine liner pen all along the forest area. Oh, and I did also take my dark brown Black Widow pencil and go around the compass a little bit more to kind of give that three-dimensional feel that I was trying to go for, as well as using my white gel pens and acrylic pens to create the reflections and the embellishments that you see on the forest area, and also the stars and things like that on the background. As we wrap up the end of this video, I just want to take another moment to thank you guys for watching. If you made it to the end of this video, you are awesome and so appreciated. If you have not yet subscribed and you did like something in this video, please again consider subscribing and hitting the little notification bell. I try to upload at least once a week, sometimes twice. It just depends on how much I can get done, or life in general, what's going on. But so far I'm getting at least one video a week, sometimes two. But until we speak again, I hope you all have a beautiful rest of your day. Remember to take time for yourself, be kind to yourself and to others. Bye.